with such a fantastic guest on the show this week, Jess Piles. This week's dish of the week is taken from her website, jesspiles.com. It's fiery chili and lime pork chops. We're going to be using Jess's Hardcore Carnivore red rub. Let's crack on. I'm going to be using these lovely pork chops from Philip Warren Butchers, and just as we did with the monster chop in one of the previous episodes, I've dried these, I've scored the skin, which will enable the fat to render down. So they're ready. We're going to go ahead and put on this Hardcore Carnivore red rub. We're going to fire up the grill and we're going to get these babies on. So the skin is scored, these are nice and dry. We're going to go ahead and just apply a coat of the Hardcore Carnivore red rub all over the meat. The grill I'm using today is a Kamado Joe Classic 3. The way I've set it up is we've got whole oak charcoal on one side that we've lit. We've got a grill grate directly above that, directly above the fire. On the other side, the indirect side, we've got a deflector plate in place, which is going to protect us from the heat. We've also got a grate above that where the chops are going to sit to finish off indirect. So let's go and show you how we cook these. So as you can see, we're set up with two-zone cooking here. We've got our direct heat here with the grill grate directly above the fire. That's nice and hot. Over here, we've got a deflector plate in place. We've got the grill grate there. That's our indirect cool zone. So the plan is put the chops on, 2 minutes, give them a flip, give them a little go on the side with the scored fat, on the scored skin, and then pop them over indirect until they hit a nice 63 degrees internal. Then we're going to rest them, knock up the chili and lime salsa, and dig in. You can see, got a lovely colour on those now, absolutely beautiful. Now, we always like to face the fat towards the heat, so we're going to do that with these. So line them up, indirect, fat facing the heat. Just to try and render it down a little bit further. And now we're just going to finish these off, lid back down into their 63 degrees. The chops are off, they're resting, so we're now going to knock up the chili and lime salsa sauce. So, into a bowl, we're going to start with 100 ml of orange juice. So we're going to squeeze that into there. To the orange juice, we're going to zest in a lime, and we're also going to add the juice of the lime. So in that goes. Next, we want the spice, so we're just going to finely dice this and add that into the bowl. So in we go with the chili. To that, we're going to go in with about 2 teaspoons of Worcestershire sauce. That'll do us. About half a teaspoon of salt and a couple of tablespoons of honey. And then we're just going to give that a good mix. It's going to be a thin consistency, that's fine. We're just going to use this to just drizzle over the pork as a kind of dressing. It's going to give us a sweetness, it's going to give us the kick of the chili, it's going to give us that nice citrusy flavour of the orange and the lime. It's going to work perfectly with the pork. I'm already excited, so let's get the chops back into play, drizzle this over and have a taste. So there it is, fiery chili and lime pork chops from Jess Piles' website. Jess is the Hardcore Carnivore. This is dish of the week. We're going to slice in, see how we've done. Pork is nice and juicy throughout. It's perfectly cooked to 63 degrees. Don't take pork too far because that's when it starts to get tough, starts to get chewy. So let's just go in and have a taste. The flavours of that dressing, you've got the lime coming through, the citrusy, and you've got the spice of the chili, which gives you a nice little kick to go with the pork. But then you've got the honey kind of bringing it and rounding it all up along with the pork. Sweetness, spice, citrusy, absolute winner. So that was a dish from Jess Piles' website. Jess is the Hardcore Carnivore on the Smoking Elk. That was dish of the week. Please give it a go, and I'll see you again next week.